didn't come on this earth accidentally, that we were part of a planned process, that our obligation to life was to leave this world a better place than where we found it.
Claude W. Ahrens followed this simple philosophy throughout a lifetime devoted to making the world around him a better place. And no place benefited more from Ahrens' generosity than the city of Grinnell.
He left a legacy here for not only my own family and his friends and extended family, but for the people of this community that he truly loved.
Claude was a lifelong entrepreneur and master salesman. He founded Ahrens Hybrid Seed Corn Company at a time when farmers were skeptical about paying a higher premium for seed on the chance of a larger yield later. Within a decade, he sold his once small business to Cargill.
He had a lot of money, and toward the end of his life, I would say starting in the late 80s, he really started to think about how he could help the community with that money.
Claude later founded Miracle Recreation Company, selling merry-go-rounds and other playground equipment. Once again, he grew his small business. At its peak, he was installing his play equipment into 500 McDonald's restaurants each year. Claude even branched off into agricultural manufacturing, creating Miraco Company and developing revolutionary livestock watering systems.
With his perseverance and his very strong attitude and personality, he was able to accomplish things that maybe the average person wasn't able to.
But Claude always believed his true legacy would come from helping others, which he has accomplished in countless ways through the Claude W. and Dolly Ahrens Foundation and the Ahrens Park Foundation.
It was important for my grandparents to start a foundation. They wanted to give something back to their community.
If we want to leave this great country greater than what we found it, we're going to have to work like we never worked before.
My grandparents believed in giving back to their community. Their entrepreneurial spirit was very important to them.
After a long and successful business career, Claude decided the time was right to give something back to Grinnell, the community he loved. With an emphasis on parks and recreation, the Claude W. and Dolly Ahrens Foundation was established in 1993. Since then, the foundation has awarded more than $12 million in charitable grants in the fields of parks and recreation, education, and health, attempting to improve the quality of life for every citizen in Grinnell and the surrounding area.
The foundation really did become the kind of the launching point of a lot of things that have happened since. So by creating that foundation, Claude really did kind of create the groundwork for a lot of things that have happened since.
One major success happened soon after the public school system embarked on a campaign for a major upgrade of its facilities. That's when school administrators learned the Ahrens Foundation board had agreed that their private foundation would help support this giant public project, starting with a $1 million gift to the campaign.
We actually built a new gym and a new auditorium at the high school with a combination of sales tax money, bond issue, and private funding. And these folks went out and raised over $2 million in private funds for the school district, and I was just so impressed with that.
It was a very meaningful allocation of the resources we had at the time. It was clear they were passionate about it, and when we came back, it just was phenomenally successful. Others followed, other major donors followed, lots of smaller individual donors followed, and we meaningfully improved the schools here in Grinnell.
Then there is the Drake Community Library in Grinnell, another project that owes its existence today in part to the Ahrens Foundation.
We really could not have done it without them.
After failing for years to find funding to replace the old, cramped city library, the Ahrens Foundation agreed to step in and support another push, this time to secure private funding to help move the new library project from an idea into a beautiful new community resource with computer workstations, wireless internet, a children's area, and plenty of seating, all flooded with natural light. But as they do with all their projects, the Ahrens Foundation provided more than money.
They provided our bookkeeping and all the mailings, all of those crucial things that go into a fundraising project.
The foundation's impact goes beyond finding funds. Thanks to one of their most innovative ideas, the Community Support Services Program.
We've also provided a hub where nonprofits can come and work together, and through our shared space that we offer here at our foundation offices, we've created this really exciting collaborative synergy among different key organizations, which has in turn then has helped many different key successful community projects happen in town.
The idea: give nonprofit groups administrative support so they can work on accomplishing their mission.
They've got lists, they can do letters, they can track donations, they can send out reminders, they can do the tax forms that inform people. They've just got all that back office stuff so smoothly organized that people can really think about, well, what do we want to do? It's lovely.
And we do all the routine stuff, the numbers, the human resource, the board development, policies and procedures, and then they can concentrate and focus on what they want to get done. For instance, Imagine Grinnell is one of those affiliates, and they are a quality of life foundation, so they're able to focus on developing the bike trails or doing the half marathons or whatever program or project they're interested in and trying to develop at that time.
Imagine Grinnell promotes healthy living and energy-saving lifestyles. They're one of many nonprofits that has moved into the Ahrens Foundation building and taken advantage of the Community Support Services Program.
Over the last year, we've been able to raise some more money for Imagine Grinnell to put right into the programs. Obviously, that's what our goal is. That's what we want to do. And by having all of that time extra to think about fundraising, to think about membership, how to make the organization better, that's really helped us a great deal.
Even more impressive, all these support services were provided free to member nonprofits the first 4 years of the program.
So that was approximately $660,000 that we valued out of our resources that we use.
The Community Support Services Program has become a must for startups in the Grinnell area, and the idea of sharing space and resources has generated interest from foundations across the nation. The Ahrens Foundation has even begun consulting for other foundations from around the United States.
We don't just raise money, we help people take care of the things that are important to them and provide them with advice as to how to do it in the most efficient, effective way.
Through many of their success stories, the Ahrens Foundation has worked closely with the Greater Poweshiek Community Foundation.
We are here to do the work that an executive director or some sort of a staff person would be, so that the volunteer boards can carry out their mission. And some of those missions are hunger, early childhood literacy, quality of life issues for Grinnell. By aligning with us, they align with the Claude and Dolly Ahrens Foundation, and that carries weight within the community and beyond.
This Community Support Services partner has acted as a pass-through agency for community capital campaign drives for projects ranging from the high school expansion and new public library to the Grinnell Mutual Family Aquatic Center. With water slides, a lap pool, and a lazy river, it's been one of the most popular summer hangouts in Grinnell from the day it opened. But the most visible example of the Ahrens Foundation's impact is located on over 100 acres of multi-use parkland, which has become the jewel of Grinnell's athletics and recreation system.
You see people of all different ages utilizing the park at different times of the day. There's something here for everybody to enjoy, and this park will be here perpetually, so it will be here for generations to come.
Ahrens Paschal Memorial Park was built in 1994 as a tribute to Claude and Dolly's son Paul and Paul's friend Jim Paschal, both of whom died at an early age. It had always been Claude and Paul's dream to build a recreational park, and the Ahrens Paschal Memorial Park has made that dream a reality. The park is run by the Ahrens Park Foundation, a group dedicated to providing first-class recreational facilities while partnering with wellness and educational programs for the greater good of Grinnell.
opportunities for wellness, fitness, family-oriented activities is a huge plus for those moving into Grinnell. There are actually some businesses that come to us and bring their prospective employees, come and talk to us about what programs we have, about what facilities we have to try and promote Grinnell even more to bring in their new employer.
The park has 8 softball and baseball fields hosting Little League games. 2 outdoor basketball courts are popular in the summer, as well as 2 outdoor tennis courts. There are 3 youth soccer fields, a driving range for golfers to practice their swing, and even a sand volleyball court.
Smaller towns our size just don't have the opportunities that our town is able to provide to the public.
The quality of the outdoor fields earned the park the 2010 Iowa Sports Complex of the Year award from the Iowa Sports Turf Managers Association. And true to the Ahrens playground legacy, there's plenty of equipment for children to play on, picnic shelters, a popular 1.5-mile walking trail, and even a sledding hill for wintertime fun. The foundation also was a major sponsor of RAGBRAI's visit to Grinnell in 2011, bringing thousands of bicyclists into the park for an overnight stop. The park is also home to the Grinnell Athletic and Recreation Center, or GARC. The GARC was built in 1998 and includes a large multi-purpose gymnasium.
We're able to have open nights, free seniors walking, access for the public. We have AAU basketball teams that practice in here. We're able to provide tennis lessons, volleyball lessons, adult leagues in this facility.
The park also is home to the Ahrens Family Center, which contains the Grinnell Community Daycare and Preschool. The Family Center boasts 14 classrooms, a gymnasium, and a 20 by 35-foot swimming pool where children learn how to swim. Outside, 3 fenced-in play areas with play equipment on top of a safe tile surfacing overlook the rest of the park, a view Claude could appreciate, and did.
When he was alive, he took pleasure in driving by the park and sometimes on the walking paths. In his town car, he would drive through and he would just count the number of people that were out here on any given day. One of his passions was recreation, and this epitomizes, I think, his passion of recreation and quality of life.
Claude's effect on Grinnell is vast, but his focus was simple: leave the world a better place than we found it.
He had his own way about him, and I think people who knew him are sort of, wow, Claude did that, and he did, so good for him.
And good for Grinnell. Leaders in this city are working hard to make their world in central Iowa a better place, with the philosophy of Claude W. Ahrens never far from their thoughts.
He was a big believer in getting things rolling and getting people together to work together to make things happen. He wanted people to take ownership in different projects so that it wasn't just one organization or one key person making something happen. He really wanted people to work together because in the end, 2 heads are better than 1 and things get done that way.
Claude W. Ahrens would be happy to see his foundation continuing to make a difference, making so many people who never knew this prolific philanthropist happy.
Remember this: a minute without happiness is a minute without life.